Hello there, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time, welcome. The truth is love, and the truth is loving. But in this society, we've been built upon a system and systems of lies, of illusions, that when it's time to speak the truth, live in the truth, be the truth, express the truth, right? Be honest in who we are, be authentic. There's a lot of fear surrounding it. There's a lot of resistance surrounding it. There's a lot of doubting and questioning and fearful thoughts and narratives surrounding truth and being honest, being real, being authentic. This is a very root work problem. This system was set up like this strategically to put us in this space where we don't think for ourselves, where we lose contact with the truth of who we are, with the freedom of who we are, with our natural way of being. Our natural way of being is not to live in lies and illusions and confusion and lacks of clarity. No, that is the fight of the enemy, right? That is the fight of the spirit of confusion. And if it's in confusion, it's not from God. It's not from source. And so, there has been a controlled matrix effort to put us all in these boxes and push us away from the truth of who we are. Because if we know the truth of who we are, if we embody the truth of who we are, we will speak out, right? We will be honest with each other. We will connect deeper with ourselves and with each other. And if we do that, if we get into community, if we figure out our own ways of exchange, if we create real villages and tight-knit communities, that doesn't give to capitalism as much, or if at all. It doesn't give to the billionaires and the trillionaires. It doesn't give to the people who want our power and want to feast off of our energy and even our data. It's no wonder why we have so many people in this reality, in this life, that are fake, right? That are lying to themselves and then lying to others, that are in denial, that think that everything is a conspiracy and it's not real because it's too real. You know what I'm saying? It's too honest. It's too truthful. It's too out of the box that they were made to believe and sit in and not go past and not step out of, that they can't even believe that the truth is the truth and now it's a conspiracy because it sounds so wild because we've been so far from the truth. And it's funny because it's like, at the end of the day, like, the truth is always going to prevail as we see it now in our life, in the systems in our reality, right? All the systems that are no longer working, no longer fit, they're being exposed. They're being shown to us. We're seeing the reality behind the mask of society, behind the mask of the people in power, behind the masks of ourselves, behind the masks of our family members, our friends, strangers, lovers, friends. It's like everything is coming undone, and it's because we are in the era of truth. We are in the era of honesty. We are in the era of unveiling. And so the truth is love, right? A lot of times we'll hear people say like, oh, I lied to you to protect you, right? I lied to you because I was trying to look out for you. I lied to you because I was trying to have your back. But how is lying to somebody having their back, protecting them, keeping them safe? Safe in what? A lie? An illusion? Something that's not real? Something that you made up? There's a difference in keeping something till somebody's a certain age, right? And expressing something in a certain way until they get to that age, versus like lying to them and just leaving it there, right? And being secretive. Being secretive, being dishonest, it's not love. But we're taught to think that that's love because that's the illusion of what love is. But love is honest. Love keeps it real with you, and it lets you face yourself and whatever you need to face through that truth, right? Through that reality. It's not loving to lie to somebody you love, to be dishonest to somebody you love. It's loving to be truthful. It's loving to be real. It's not loving to be blindly loyal. It's loving to be loyal with a cause, with a purpose, loyally honest. If somebody's going down the wrong path and you're just going to be loyal to them because that's what loyalty is, you're letting somebody go down a path that isn't real. It's not honest. It's not genuine. You just want to keep proximity. You just want to keep yourself safe in their connection. You just want to keep yourself close to them. You want to be there for a look, but you don't actually care about the root of them, right? The roots of them, the foundation of them. And so, everything in this, and that's going to be in another video, but like a lot of things, most things in this world, mindset wise and systemic wise, are backwards. We have it backwards. We're taught that being fake is better than being real. Being dishonest is better than being honest. Lying is better than telling the truth. But hiding and being secretive, that isn't just, that isn't fair, that isn't power. Power is honest. True power and true love is honest. It's real, it's genuine. I mean, think about it. If truth and honesty was more normalized, people wouldn't be so afraid to speak out, to express themselves, to be true to who they are, to be honest with themselves, to be honest with others in who they are and how they feel and what they think. But because this society has built us in these boxes so tightly of judgment and restriction and rigidity and conformity and what looks nice and fitting in, when it's time to be real, when it's time to show up as you, when it's time to express who you really are, there's such resistance and fear and doubt and crippling anxiety. And this crippling anxiety and fear and doubt didn't just come out of nowhere. This came from a person who passed it to a person, and that person passed, like, it's just passed down. It's something that just continues to get passed down. But judgment isn't truth. Judgment is misunderstanding projected as truth. It's not the reality of the situation. Fear is not the reality of the situation. Doubt is not the reality of the situation. And isn't that funny? All of these things are not realities of the situation. They're just things that were created in our minds to make us believe, to disconnect us from the honesty of who we are, to disconnect us from the natural nature of who we are, which is free, which is expressive, which is big, which is bold, which is real, which is raw, which is emotional. You think we're not meant to be emotional? You think we're not meant to be emotionally honest creatures? You think we came here to be stick figures? You think we came here to live in boxes? You think we came here to be confined? You think we came here to conform? Absolutely not. That is the lie. And so a lot of the generational trauma, cycle healing, cycle breaker work is that of unlearning the lies and the illusions, and relearning the truth and honesty within self, but also in the world and society, within our families. And this work is important because it leaves space then for the next generation, and even the generations before me to be vindicated, to be empowered, to be free, to have the liberation that the people before me didn't have, to have the liberation that the people that I'm not getting. You know what I'm saying? And each time we continue to break out of these mindsets and systems of bondage is where we will be able to really elevate and evolve as a human collective, as a humanity. And so I realize in my own life where I've been afraid and can be afraid to speak the truth, right? To speak to what's real to me, to be honest. And this is not because I want to be dishonest or because I want to not express my truth, but it's because there can be many different things: fear, doubt, anxiety, resistance, denial, survival mechanisms at this point, right, that we hold on to and we cling to because we're just so scared of the unknown, of being honest. We're so afraid of not belonging where we once did, of not being accepted where we once were. But the truth is, if people don't accept you in your truth, or in the truth and the honesty and the authenticity of who you really are, is that love? And do you want to be loved by them? Do you want to belong there? Do you want to fit in? Do you want to be accepted by that? The illusion and the lie of society will tell you, yes, I just want to be accepted. I just want to fit in. It doesn't even matter. That's survival, though. That's not thriving. That's not living. That's not breathing. That's mere survival. And we were built for far more than that. And so I think I've also been recognizing, like, I have this narrative in my mind, like, oh, I shouldn't say this or I shouldn't say that. You know, this people pleasing. Tiptoe around this, tiptoe around that. Don't completely. But it's like, fuck that. Like, it's time. People need to hear the truth. They need to know the truth. They need to receive the truth. Even if it's hard, even if it hurts, it's like, that is love. Love is meant to change you. Not to make you complacent, not to make you stagnant. It's meant to make you feel. It's meant to make you evolve, grow, heal. We don't evolve, grow, and heal without experiencing contrast. So if we've lived in lies all our lives, yeah, having someone tell you the real, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna sting. But then you are freer. You can live more, live bigger, have more. And this is why the truth is looked at crazy, right? Or it's not often seen as much as a facade or a fake or a phony or a mask. A lot of people are not willing to be who they really are. A lot of people are not really willing to be honest about who they are. You know, something I've thought about is, like, people will ask you a question, but they don't really want the answer. They'll ask you a question, but then when you give them the answer, they're upset, they're mad. It's because the truth now stings, it now hurts, there's a punch to it because we're not used to that. But even in that upset, that frustration, that agitation, being triggered, that ego hit, that is still love. And something that Teal Swan said in one of her videos, in one of her live session videos, was, be so loyal that you're willing to fight about that. Be so loyal to healing the generational patterns that you're willing to fight through the truth, that you're willing to be honest, that you're willing to say what's real, that you're willing to be who you are, that you're willing to stand out. And that perspective is so real because it's just like, that is loyalty. Not coddling, not enabling, but being real. And I feel like for me, I'm having this shift where I'm just like, truth is love and it is loving. I'm not doing anything wrong by being honest to me, to life, to my way of life. And I think that's why I respect authenticity so much, even if I don't agree with everybody's opinion or thoughts or how they are, because it's honest and true to them. I remember I went to Dave Chappelle's comedy show. And some of the things he was saying were triggering, and it was just like, oh my God, why would you say that? Like, ooh, that's not really. But I respected it because it was honest, right? And being honest invites self-respect. Being authentic invites self-respect for you, but then it helps others to respect you. Because even if they don't agree with you, it's like, I respect that they're honest. I respect that they're real. I respect that they live in truth. I can have respect for truth, even if I don't agree with that, even if I don't support that. I can respect honesty. But we've been so taught to be afraid of it, and for what? Really, for what? Now honesty is mean. Being real is wrong. It's harsh. It's cold. But is it? Or is that just a perspective of what it means to be honest, truthful, real? These are things we really need to consider, because my generation is creating space for the next generation, and so on. And if we want to break through these systems that are no longer fitting for us, no longer working for us, no longer paying us what we deserve energetically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, we have to be honest with ourselves first and foremost, society, and then in our relationships about how we feel, what we think, what we know, what we believe, what we see. Change people's perspectives, challenge their perspectives, and be open to being wrong, because that's truth. Mistakes, being wrong, that's truth. That's a truthful, honest possibility of life. Perfectionism isn't honest. It's not true. It's not truth. But again, it's just another box. Consider the boxes that you have put yourself in through dishonesty or honesty, truth or non-truth. Where are you lying to yourself right now, and where could you stop right now? Where are you not speaking your truth, and where can you speak your truth more? Live in your truth more. Because truth is loving, and it is love. You're not wrong for being honest. You're wrong for not being honest. Thank you so much for tapping into this video. Definitely go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. Join the fam as well. And until next time, I will see you on my next video. Peace.